Hey everyone. So if you can't tell what movie I want to talk about today, you need to get your eyes checked. It's Wonder Woman 1984 day. I got a screener this morning, and you guys, I'm so excited to talk to you about this movie. We have been waiting so long for it, so is it worth the wait? How is Kristen Wiig as a villain? And Pedro Pascal, how does he handle himself in this movie? I am going to give you my spoiler-free review of Wonder Woman 1984, so get ready for it.
Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
All right, now this movie comes out Christmas Day in theaters, if there's a theater open near you, and you feel safe to go, I say do it. Just bite the bullet and go, but wear your mask. It also comes to HBO Max, home release, so if you do not have a theater open near you, like I don't, or you just don't feel comfortable going, which is completely understandable, we are in a pandemic here, you can watch it at home. Now, this movie is very clearly made for the big screen. It's so very obvious with the amazing action scenes, and just a lot of what we get, you're like, man, if this was on the big screen, oh, it'd be great. Now, I do have a fairly large TV. It's 4K. I have surround sound. So I did get a semi-theater experience. All that being said, I would jump at the chance to see this in theaters on the big screen. I would absolutely do it. I would do it right now. I would go and see it. I've just finished watching it about an hour ago, and I would go and see it again right now on the big screen. So, and that says a lot. I mean, this movie, like I said, definitely made for the big screen, still does not disappoint at home. There's so many aspects about this movie I want to talk about, and don't worry, I am going to keep this completely spoiler-free. I will give you a hint. If you didn't already know, definitely stay through the credits. I mean, even if you're at home, there's a mid-credit scene, so don't worry. You definitely want to check that out. Trust me, it gave me chills. But focusing on the movie itself, we don't know too much about the plot from what the trailers have given us, so I'm going to stay as far away from that as I can. But one thing we do know is that Trevor is back, and it's kind of, how is he back? And I was very nervous at how they were going to do this because it's something that could easily be completely messed up. But I will say that it was done perfectly. It fit into the plot perfectly. He ended up becoming a very important part of the story, which I did not expect to happen. And they pulled it off, right? DC pulled it off. Stuff like this can get very weird and muddled, and I was very, very, very nervous about how he was coming back. Trust me, that's one of the things that made me the most nervous about this, and it was done perfectly. Bravo, DC, good job. I loved it. I thought exactly. It was exactly perfect. And listen, Chris Pine, he's so good. And the way his eyes and his expressions were for like something, this stuff is all new to him, you know? And we see a little bit of it in the trailers, but when he sees like a subway car or like an escalator, he's truly like a little kid experiencing it for the first time, which I think just shows a lot about how he is as an actor. I thought he was great. Speaking of all this stuff, Kristen Wiig made me really nervous. Listen, I love Kristen Wiig. I think she's amazing. I think she's hilarious. I think she's super, super talented. But she's very much a comedian. And she plays kind of quirky characters and comedy. And I just was nervous how this was going to translate into her being Barbara, being Cheetah, right? I was like, how is this going to work? Is she going to be able to pull it off? Is she going to be able to be a supervillain? Well, she does a really, really great job in this movie. Her character arc from beginning to end, as she evolves and as the story evolves, she did a great job. I believed it. I believed her as this step and this step and this step. And I feel like we saw along the way how she got there, which is the testament to Patty Jenkins, who is the director. And I really actually, Kristen Wiig pulled it off. I was very, very nervous about her as well, and I enjoyed it. I thought she was great. And speaking of the villains, listen, Pedro Pascal absolutely proves that this is the year of Pedro Pascal. Not only do we have him in this movie, I mean, we have The Mandalorian, which he's been absolutely crushing the last couple of months. Plus, he's in that We Can Be Heroes, which I think you guys should also check out on Christmas Day. It's coming to Netflix. I can't talk about that yet, but I will have a review up for you Christmas morning. But Pedro is just such a talent, such a gem. He is pure perfection in this movie. He completely steals this show. He is my favorite part of the movie. He is, again, like I said with Kristen Wiig, right? You see the character evolve. I watched his expressions and his mannerisms and just his entire character evolve throughout the whole 2.5 hours and just become something totally different. It was so good and so pure and perfect, and I loved watching him up on the screen and just watching him work, and just, man, he has got to be absolutely incredible to work with. I can only imagine. He's so talented, and he completely stole this show. Now, you'll notice I've talked about Steve Trevor, and I've talked about Cheetah, and I've talked about Maxwell Lord, who is Pedro Pascal's character, and I haven't talked much about Diana, about Wonder Woman. Now, yes, she's fantastic. Of course she's good in this. Of course she kicks some serious butt, and some of the action scenes are great, and she goes through her own character arc, and yes, she makes me tear up once or twice. However, she very much felt like a side character. She felt like a supporting role in this movie, which is not to say that it's a bad thing. Pedro, like I said, really stood out. Pedro Pascal's Maxwell Lord was just absolutely fantastic. And Kristen Wiig was great as well, although she did feel like a supporting character. And Steve Trevor very much felt like a supporting character. But I don't know, something about maybe the storyline of this, and I'm not saying she didn't do a fantastic job, because she did. She was great. Every scene she was in, she crushed. I mean, she's so good at being Diana, right? Wonder Woman. She's fantastic. But she just, as the story went on and the movie went on, and it is 2.5 hours long, this became Pedro Pascal's movie for me. It did. It became a Maxwell Lord movie. And again, not necessarily a bad thing. I think it was good. I think it was a fresh twist on it, and I mean, we still got more than enough Wonder Woman and action and butt-kicking scenes, but there's a lot of heart in this too, and she brings a lot of the heart. She really does. But for me, this was very much a Pedro movie, and that just shows how amazingly talented he is. I didn't notice really any bad language. One word really stuck out to me. But of course there's violence and all that, but I'm still going to let my kids watch it. My kids and I, we're going to watch it later today. We're going to watch it as a family. They're 7 and 9. There's nothing in here that I'm worried about them seeing at all. I think it's a great movie. It's a great addition to DC. Honestly, I like it. I like it better than the first one. I do. And I don't know if that's just my love for Pedro coming through, but I am telling you, he just killed it in this role. He was so good. Of course, I mean, everyone in this movie was good. The plot was good. It's a 2.5 hour long movie, and it didn't feel slow at all to me. It felt like it kept right up on pace, and it kept moving, which when you're in a theater setting, at least for me, 2.5 hours will fly by like no big deal. But if I'm home and there's a movie like that, there's just so many distractions going on and so many things going on that it feels long, and it feels like, oh, what time is it? We've got to get to the end of this. I've got stuff I've got to do. Whereas that's taken away from me when I'm in a theater setting. I think because I just don't look at my watch in a theater, just because it will light up if I do, and it's rude. I don't know, but I felt like this movie didn't have any lulls. And again, the pacing was great. It was on track the whole time. We get action, smatterings throughout, plus heart and plot smattered throughout, which I really enjoyed it. You know what? This movie, and I hate to say it because I feel like so many people are saying, this is the movie we need right now because we're in this horrible pandemic, and people are saying that not just about Wonder Woman 1984, just about almost every movie. And you know what? I'm going to say it. This is the movie we need right now. It comes out Christmas Day. It's a perfect Christmas present to us from DC. I know I'm going to watch this multiple more times just up until the end of the year. It's that good. It's fun. It's got humor. I mean, there's some hilarious moments. It's got heart. I shed a few tears. And it's just, man, you guys know how I feel about villains, all right? And man, this movie, gosh, it does a good job. If I had to nitpick anything, I'd say, it's very clearly made for the big screen. So when you're at home, maybe some parts fall apart, but not really. It's just the action scenes would obviously be way cooler up on a big screen in a theater. And, I really can't complain about the length because, like I said, it really stays on pace and stays on track. I guess my main complaint would be that Diana, Wonder Woman, does feel like a secondary character, a supporting character in this, but that could just be me, too. listen, I'm open to conversation. So if you've already seen this, let me know below in the comments. Try to keep it spoiler free, at least with your initial comment, just for those who haven't been able to see this movie yet. It does come out, like I said, Friday on HBO Max and in select theaters. I believe it is already in theaters overseas. So if you are able to check this thing out, listen, it's great. It's fantastic. It's probably my favorite DC movie as of now. I think so. It's my favorite DC EU movie, right? If we're going way back, I don't know. The Nolan Batmans are still really, really good, and they're kind of my thing. But we'll ignore those for now. It's my favorite, although I do really strongly feel like the Suicide Squad is going to take over that position when the time comes. I do love me some James Gunn. But I'm going to stop rambling to you guys now. And just my consensus is this movie was more than worth the wait. Yes, it was made for the big screen, but it certainly delivers at home. Pedro proves, once again, this is the year of Pedro, and Kristen Wiig actually proves, yes, she can be a supervillain. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY. Thanks, guys. See you next time.